One of those old, great British classics. Cottage pie. Very simple. Good mince, onions, garlic, bay leaf, little thyme, Worcester sauce, tomato puree, and of course, the stock pot. So, again, hot pan, little oil. When hot, in with the beef to cook the beef. Get a bit of colour in it, singe it, extract the fat out, drain it off. Then we add the fried onions and the fried garlic. In together they go, Worcester sauce. Reduce that down, stock pot. Tiny bit of tomato puree, stir it around, cook it a little bit. Little water, approx half a litre, cook it out. Very simple, and cook for about an hour and a half, so it really cooks. The problem with a lot of people is they don't cook their mince enough. In we go with the mince. And as you can see, I've just put it in the pan, I haven't moved it. Why? Because the more I move it, the more I take the heat out of the pan. I want the heat to get back into the pan because I want to caramelise that meat just a little bit, a little singeing, that's all. The water content within the mince is now being released. If I keep on stirring and mixing it back in, by allowing it just to stay still, having confidence in my pan to do the work for me, it just releases, it evaporates. I cannot get a true caramelisation into my mince until I've got the water out of it. And then I can start to break it all up. A lot of people would have strained the water off. But by straining it off, what are you doing? You're putting away a certain percentage of flavour. By leaving the pan on the heat, allowing the water to evaporate by reduction, you're intensifying the flavour. So now we start to break it up, release that last bit of water, and then we can start to singe it, caramelise it a little bit and put some colour into it. Say you're cooking minced lamb for a shepherd's pie, exactly the same method, same principles apply. So as you can see now, all the water's been evaporated and there's just a little bit of caramelisation on some of the meat. And that's enough. Transfer the mince into the colander to drain off the excess oil. Little oil, half an onion, little garlic, just cut coarsely. I think the secret of shepherd's pie, cottage pie, is method. And perfection is lots of little things done well. It's as simple as that. Questioning why we're doing what we're doing. It's like now, we're cooking the onions and the garlic with a little bit of colour. When that's got to that stage of cooking, then we'll add the mince back to it, and then we progress. It's bit by bit. I think you have to question what you're trying to create. I think whenever I cook, I always think about what I'm cooking. I always think, what do I want to achieve at the end of it? So I have a picture in my mind. I can almost see it before I've cooked it. You know, there's a taste which I want, and so therefore I work at achieving that taste. Tiny bit of flour, just gives it that little bit of body. When I say a tiny bit, it's just a pinch. Okay, back in with the mince. Worcester sauce, reduce that down. Tablespoon of tomato puree. And the last thing to do is approx half a litre of water, stock pot, 1 bay leaf, stir it in. So we dissolve the stock pot in the water. And then into the casserole pan. And if we cook slowly now for approx an hour 15 in the oven. But the one thing you'll notice that we did everything in stages, nice and slowly. Even when it comes to finish the cooking, it's nice and slowly in a low oven, about 140 for an hour 15. And if it needs another 15 minutes, then give it another 15 minutes. Never allow time to dictate. It's time to finish the mince, which is cooked for about an hour 15, an hour and a half. And how we finish it is we add some blanched swede and some blanched carrots. These are blanched for about 12 minutes. And to top it off, delicious creamed mashed potato. If you want, you could put some peas in. Perfect. gently stir in the carrots. And again, there's no recipe, it's what you want to put inside. Take out the bay leaf when you find it. And root vegetables work very well with a shepherd's pie, with a cottage pie. Again, this would feed a good 6 people. So that's the mince, the swede, the carrots in. As you can see, it's not too wet, it's not too dry. So when we put the potato on, it doesn't sink. A lot of people tend to make the mince too wet. I think a kilo meat to a half a litre of stock is a good balance. Okay. So it's a nice easy way of doing this. You could pipe it. That's our basic. So now what we have to do is build it across so it looks like a pie. Little milk with a fork. Finish with a fork to a pattern of your choice. There's your cottage pie. I would say approx 10 minutes, maybe 12, maybe 15, depending on your oven. But I'm going to put this into an oven of about 180. 15 minutes in the oven. Not too brown, very nice, beautiful. So the only thing left to do now, apart from eat it, is just paint it with some clarified butter or a little oil, your choice. And there we have a traditional cottage pie.